Hello and welcome back to your Part 4 ACCA SBL Examination December 2024 Pre-Scene Analysis Review of my exclusive notes. My name is James, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you'd like a copy of my exclusive notes, just click the link in the description of this video and you can download a copy there. I'm also delighted to say that I'm affiliated and associated with Astranti, where you can access their mock papers, pre-scene analysis packs. The links to find those are also down in the description. And for pure transparency as ever on the channel, if you were to purchase anything, I'd be entitled to a small percentage which goes to supporting the YouTube channel. So as always, a massive thank you. I'm so pleased these videos and notes are helping out students around the world. Leave me a comment if you have any questions about the pre-scene notes as we go through them, as the little details that you need to apply on your exam day are going to make the massive difference, picking up those marks and getting you that 50 plus. Well, now let's move on to the IT failures I think that are going to potentially come up here, and the information systems that are broken down into those specific areas. So we're given the actual event planning system, the event ticketing systems, marketing systems, and management information systems. And what I got into this when I was reading it through was, we've got an accountant in charge of the ICT areas and possible issues of lack of expertise, and some of the actual temporary staff may also be involved in the system management. So you're going to yourself, James Atros, for your notes, is the manager who is accountable. He's head of business support, and Rodnim utilises a range of information systems in the support of its business activities, including, as we said, the support and planning, organising all the events, project management tools. And the key bit here for your notes is that we've seen it previously before. Clients want to see systems and technology used to enhance the experience at the event. So it's really important they adopt some of these areas, but as you can see, AI is not one of them on there. So we've got areas about each event now broken down into separate activities. They want the actual events to be effectively scheduled, delivered on time, and within the agreed budget on there. So this is where, again, lots of all this is all assuming it all goes to plan. And the event ticketing system has no technological issues or potential innovations on there. They're using mobile apps where you can register and pay using a smartphone. I'm sure if you've been to a concert or an event, you'll have seen it before. Again, it's they're moving with the time, and I take from it that they're not stuck in their old ways on there. In terms of the marketing systems to effectively promote the events, it is managing, and it is integrated with Rodnim's website and a range of social media. Not given too much details. I guess this is an accounting exam, but it's something to maybe refer to that they could maybe allocate more resources to. Lastly, we're given more information about the management information system now and what it actually collates, and that is data into event planning, the progress, post-event reports on there, all to support the management's decision process. And you're thinking to yourself, well, how reliable is that? What kind of questions are they asking? And surely they'd have actually done something, because when we see the NPS score later on in the recording, the customer and client satisfaction has been going down year on year. So is there a correct mechanism and system in place collating that data and getting it to the relevant people? We then have that Rodnim uses an off-site data storage. Again, the alarm bell should be ringing here about remotely and securely accessing this data over the internet. So again, possible cyber attack risks there. Jimmy Atros is again accountable for this area, but would you say that a specialist of this kind of area for IT, should it be an accountant? We're not really told if he's really into his IT for it, or has he just been given the job? And Rodnim's website now comes into play about allowing attendees to book online, help with any queries, bookings, posting comments and experiences. The website also contains information about Rodnim and its business philosophy. So no ethics or values referred to directly so far. We're only given that in one of the strategic aims. The reason why I say that is ethics will be on your exam somewhere that you can integrate it, and we should just be looking for little hints and tips, which is one of them in the strategic aims we're coming on to now. You'll see from the extracts of Rodnim's website, the mission, and they've even put it in bold for us on there, is that they want clients to have a top quality service, ensuring the needs and expectations are met for the clients, fully met, should I say, that they will make every event a memorable experience for both clients and everyone attending at the event. That kind of says to me something's going to go wrong on there, and a key point not being implemented here because the NPS score about that client satisfaction and the quality of service has actually been going down year on year. So they're not actually implementing their mission very effectively. We then have some of the strategic aims that I think overlaps with a sort of pestle theory model on there. We've got exploring and exploiting new business opportunities. Well, why we're not going into the public sector on there, or looking to collaborate, or international clients, or international expansion, shall I say. Innovation of technologies, operational efficiency. And it was interesting for the third one on there, and all about what Amanda and Sally are accountable here for, encouraging an open, respectful and ethical business culture. Could lead to ethical points or something on your exam day where someone is maybe not being ethical. Operating in an environmentally sustainable manner. Again, nobody in the team, managers or partners, are actually accountable for this role of sustainability, and that overlaps with our CSR strategy. A lot of points to get down there, and you could refer and directly quote those strategic aims on your exam day. We've then got to touch on Rodnim in terms of the actual risk register now, and we've given an extract for this, and we have some main categories of risk, but as you can see from my notes on there, I've gone such as. We've been given no details of this. Be prepared for the exam day. Well, main categories about which the business is facing. We've got the operational risk and economic risk I'm just going to come up to. But it almost kind of gives you a hint that there's more to come on there. That's what I was trying to get at with the point. The partners on there, Amanda and Sally, they're determined by the nature and extent of the business, the nature and extent of the risk, shall I say, when settling the risk appetite. So they're the ones who are accountable and in charge of the risk and adapt it when it is necessary. So what I'm getting at here is anything that links to risk on your exam day, Amanda and Safi on there, not Sally, Safi, should be who you refer to. This is where we've got control activities in place, overlapping accountability now, lack of role clarity, potential harmful effects on Rodnim. As you can see here, for each event, Rodnim also undertakes an individual risk assessment. This is where we've got the risks on the side here now, and it links into what I thought was interesting on here was who is accountable for those risks. So you've got Amanda and Safi on there for strategic risks, as we've talked about. The financial risks are all about sort of MERSA for the event planning. That's what the points are referring to. Economic risk, Jimmy's accountable for that, for managing the capital structure and liquidity factors. Compliance and regulatory risk as well. Operational risk, MERSA and DECA on there. But in terms of breaking down those risk categories into different factors, new competition there is a potential threat in our SWOT analysis. Attracting new clients attracting new entrants into the market is because it's already highly competitive, but it's getting even more lucrative. So it's going to put more and more pressure on the company. Costs associated, poor planning at the tender stage from Amanda has affected profitability in the past, and therefore it's resulted in loss-making events. Corporate clients are offered commercial credit terms, risk of bad debts, in other words, them not paying, and actually it becoming a write-off, and linking to working capital management issues. The economic performance in Harland directly affects the demand of corporate and private clients, another economic factor for Pestle, and we're given liquidity issues, regulation and legislation, political factors in there, and lastly with operational risk, that is where a technology factor comes into it about resources, inability to procure on there, IT system failures. Again, there's lots to sort of debunk from that, but that is where you should be putting in points if a Pestle or SWOT analysis came up, linking back to those risk factors. Coming on to performance now, the final part of the pre-scene notes, we've got Rodnim has built its business around corporate and private events for clients. Each corporate event generates significantly more fee income and profit, which comes from the private client events. In other words, the corporate clients are the most profitable and an absolute massive strength for your SWOT analysis. A key sentence to note down in terms of a performance factor. And in terms of those performance factors from the corporate clients, it's led to increasing fee income over the years. So from 2001 to 2003, we've seen a 4.7% increase. However, over the same time period, the operating profit from 2001 to 2003 has dropped by 3.7% on there. In a nutshell, we're not effectively managing our operating expenses, and therefore you can see from the operating profit margins I've calculated at the bottom, it's decreased from 5.1 to 4.85 to 4.69 on that. It's showing us that the fee income's going up, but we could be more effective in our cost management. The other important areas on the last page about corporate tenders now are about the number of invitations that we actually get, the number of submissions that we actually put forward, and then the tender success rate. We'll go on to the actual words from the pre-seen materials first, that 86% of all tender invitations received during 2003 were actually completed. So you've got to say to yourself, well, apply that professional skepticism and say, well, why were the 14% tender invitations not completed? There's no mention of why this was the case in the pre-seen materials, so why not question it in your answers if it was asked in a requirement? We're then told from those that were actually submitted, only 45% of these were actually successful. So that's where you can see from my calculations up at the top, the calculations linked and reference from points A and point B. There was a marginal improvement in tendering performance compared to 2002, so it's been even worse in the past. Tender success is recognised as a major driver of corporate business in Rodnim. In other words, we need to get better of this actual system going through that tendering process, and that is linking back to the partners of the business. I was also looking at this from how many invitations they actually had, so you can see the figures up the top, but then ideas and where they could improve. So they need to improve that tender success rate. They need to improve the service quality, those niche markets they could tackle, and packaging a better reputation and better brand that is going to attract more clients, and investing in higher growth segments. So referring back to virtual and sporting events is going to demonstrate your knowledge and application of the pre-seen materials. Other ideas of potential events now, again just thinking outside the box, you would get credit for this if it was applied in the correct requirement, if it was asked, but maybe sort of eco-friendly events, or not just focusing on just private events, but luxury private events with higher margins. Maybe even not-for-profit organisations haven't been mentioned in the pre-seen materials, but you could link that to some of your answers on there. We then come on to that NPS score I've been referring to, the Net Promoter Score. If you look at the figures from 2001 to 2002 and 2003, it's dropped from 9.1 to 8.4 to 7.5, dropping 1.6 points in the last 3 years. And this is all about a measure of client loyalty, satisfaction, feedback. In other words, how likely are they to recommend Rodnim events on a scale of 0 to 10, where 10 is the best score possible. So the NPS score is useful for benchmarking client satisfaction, as it provides insights on how Rodnim is perceived and can be indicative of likely future business. And I know that you're probably thinking, 7.5 out of 10, James, that's not too bad. But that's 3 in 4 clients are satisfied. That's 1 in 4 are not. Whereas previously in 2001, it was only 1 in 10, basically. 9 in 10 were very happy. It could also link into a balanced scorecard model here, linking into other areas of stakeholders, the finance aspects, customers, internal factors, and growth and learning moving forward. How can we get better? And last but by no means least, I've put for you at the bottom a nice little summary of some of the models and theories that I've referred to in today's recording, and that is where we've got pestle analysis, Porter's 5 forces, SWOT analysis, a nice little breakdown for you there. Again, if you've downloaded these notes, you can take them all in, but it's just to give you a few more bits of flavour about, you can see on here, government interest, higher market competition, temporary staff, a variety of different factors that when I was going through these, I would be bearing those in mind. If pestle, if Porter's, or if SWOT came up, those would be my key areas to actually refer to and to go into a bit more detail on there. And that takes us through our final part of the pre-seen materials. I hope you found the video helpful, going through top to bottom on there. If you have enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like, and if you'd like access to my exclusive SBL notes, which are going to save you so much time, click the link into the description, along with checking out those Astranti mock papers and pre-scene analysis packs. They are definitely going to help. The last thing I can say is best of luck for your SBL exam. Let me know in the comments how you get on, and click a link for a video up above me on the channel. It could definitely help you to get that 50+. So I'll see you on the other side for another video now. So thank you very much.